Yeah, just make sure. Because sometimes I can't see the clock really good in the little teeny screen down there. Hello, hello. What a way to start a video. The title for the video is serious. Have you heard the cries from the Ukraine and Venezuela? It is happening in more places, I know. And it's happening in the Ukraine and in Venezuela. People are being killed for standing up for their rights against corrupt governments and multinational corporations. All over the world, people's rights are being violated and property is being stolen. The police are often brainwashed thugs doing the bidding of desperate criminals who resent the uprising of people who feel they have nothing left to lose. And the worst perpetrators of this criminality are in Washington, D.C., New York, London, England, the Vatican and Tel Aviv. There can be no peaceful coexistence with people who see themselves as unaccountable to the voice of the people. These are the demons in our culture, and they feed off our apathy as well as our fear. Yes, I know that Palestine has been going through this for decades, and it's horrendous. I know Syria is going through it right now. Iraq has been going through it for a long time. Afghanistan has been going through it for a long time. Trouble spots in Africa have been on again and off again in the extreme violence that's being perpetrated against people, oftentimes by, as I said, thugs that have been hired and trained by the corporate leaders of our corporate governments, and especially the financial and multinational corporation interests around the world, whether it's pharmaceutical, whether it's mining, whether it's oil, whether it's it doesn't even matter. Their big thing is government. That's their biggest thing, and government is what they use to control people. And governments are more and more out of hand. Even in the United States and so-called civilized countries that are supposed to be civilized, people's rights are being violated every single day, over and over and over. Property is being stolen without proper process, and the banks and the courts and the police, and in many cases the military, are just simply out of control. I watched lots of pictures from Venezuela, lots of images from the Ukraine. Makes me sick. Makes me want to cry when I see students that are peacefully demonstrating being hit with police batons and beat up, and many cases but dead bodies are left behind in the ruckus. And yeah, sometimes even the police end up getting killed. But it's time to put an end to this, folks. It's really time to bring this to a halt and to turn the world around. We need to wake up. The criminality is in our governments. It's in our institutions. And it's the West that exports violence to the third world countries. When I say the West, I mean the United States mostly. The United States is the worst terrorist nation on earth, bar none. That we make China look like a saint. And yes, I know they do horrible things to some of their dissidents and stuff like that. North Korea is no saint. Russia still has problems. Every country has problems in dealing with people that are free thinkers. But the United States is the worst because it takes it all over the world. It exports violence. And things like the Mossad and stuff like that, they export violence. And it's time to rein in some of the... And there's good people in all of these organizations, even the CIA, and there's good people in government. I believe that there's probably good people in some of the banking institutions. But overall, it's out of hand because the truth of the matter is people are fed up more and more. Educated people are tired of the corruption, tired of the government serving the rights of corporations, which corporations are dead entities. They have no rights. Corporations are not people. They are dead things. And the whole purpose of them is to make profit at whatever cost and at whosever expense. It doesn't matter. And the people that run the corporations are left exempt and unaccountable for their actions. Nobody has to answer. They make laws that allow them to commit crimes that if any average person were to commit the same crime, they would be punished severely. But these people, these bankers, these CEOs of multinational corporations, these executives in our governmental corporations, whatever label that they use in that country, these are out of control individuals. And somehow, I pray somehow, we need to draw people's attention, because there's a lot of stress going on right now. We're in a time of transition. This is a fact. And everybody's feeling it, even if they don't know why. There's the stress between the old paradigm and the new paradigm that's going on. And we need, in our own selves, we need to recognize, when I say that these are the demons, I mean that literally. But they get away with it because the same demon we're protecting in ourselves. We're protecting our shadow. We're protecting we're saying, well, it's not me. It's not me. But it's in us, see? And we've allowed, that's the apathy. We allow this stuff to be unaddressed in our own being. We don't own it. We don't acknowledge it. And therefore it runs us. The unacknowledged demon becomes the boss. The unacknowledged evil part of us, the dark part of us that is not acknowledged, becomes the tyrant in little ways, but it allows it to manifest in the big way. And it's manifesting now so that we can see our shadow. The government is our shadow. The corporations are our shadow. They are the fictional ego that thinks it can be separate, that thinks it can get away with whatever it can get away with, and can do anything it wants, regardless of who it hurts. This is what we're dealing with. It's in us. It's part of us. It's part of me. And I know a lot of people don't want to see that. But everything that's out there is in here. Have you heard the cries of the people suffering? Have you heard the cry of your own denied self? The denied part of you, the wounded inner child? Have you heard the cries? Because those cries are being amplified by our brothers and sisters that are being murdered in Ukraine and in Venezuela. And yes, as I said, in Palestine, in Syria, in Afghanistan, in Iraq, throughout many countries in Africa, throughout other countries in Latin America. This violence, this upheaval, everything is being brought to the surface so that we can look at it. And it's up to us to heal it. It's up to us to stop being apathetic and stop being in denial and stop our games of thinking that it's about profit. It's not about profit. The corporate structure is an evil structure because it allows the people that run the corporations to escape accountability. That has to stop. We need to bring a law, put a law in place that is equal for everyone. No one can escape. No one can become above the law and unaccountable. The law has to apply equally to everyone, or otherwise there cannot be justice. There cannot be a 2 or 3 or 4 tier stages of law that apply. Well, these laws apply to the lower people, and these laws apply to the middle people, but no laws apply to the people at the top. They can do whatever they want, even murder, and they're getting away with murder. And we need to rein in our police. We need to rein in our military, and we need to bring these soldiers, somehow they need to come into the awareness that they're serving a criminal enterprise. It's a racketeering enterprise. It's organized crime. It used to be, back when you listen to what was going on, like in the Roaring Twenties and stuff like that, there was a thing called the mob in the United States, and of course it was in Europe and other places too. Now the mob has gained respectability, and it's in the halls of our congresses and our parliaments. And the criminals are the people that are making the rules and sitting high on the hog and claiming respectability, claiming to be the authority. The only authority is authority over ourselves. No one has authority over anybody else. That's a fiction. That is a lie. That is something that we've allowed to take place, and we need to stop it. And that's why people are rising up in various parts of the world. And it's being, the unrest is being fanned by people with money. They've always done it. It's the game that they pit us against ourselves. And there's corruption everywhere. And we need to address it. We need to speak loudly to everyone that will listen, till the roar becomes deafening to those at the top, and they realize there's no place to hide. There's no place to hide. And hopefully most of them, most of the people that are making these horrible, horrible calls and trying so desperately to hang on to their illusion of power and control, hopefully many of them will see the light and come home and start to reconcile themselves with humanity and reconcile themselves with themselves. That's my prayer. That's my desire. But I really want everyone to start listening, to start hearing the cries from within yourself and from all around you. Don't turn your head away. It's not pleasant to look at, I know, but don't turn your head away. Let's fix this, folks. We have the ability, if we would only have the will to do it. Let's do it. Let's not wait for another generation. Let's not wait for somebody else down the road. Let's band together more and more and lift each other up and stop fighting and criticizing each other over stupid things like what a person eats or doesn't eat and what a person believes or doesn't believe as far as religion goes. Let's stop fighting over nonsense, and let's get on with the whole challenge of healing the deep-seated wounds that cause these cries and cause this violence to break out in so many places of the world. We can do it. We're the ones that we've been waiting for. Please believe that. Please know that it's true. Please become part of the solution and not part of the problem anymore. Thank you for listening. Namaste.